afternoon. Is it on? Is it on? It is on. Fantastic. So here we go. Yesterday, when I met my colleagues to go and visit customers, I was wearing a full suit. Today, I'm wearing jeans because my friends kindly and very politely said to me that I'm dressed for a wedding. Today's session is a little bit about some of the discoveries that Oracle is making with its customers with conversational AI in the broader sense, and particularly around the marriage of artificial intelligence, but into a business context, and making a real difference in multinational companies with multinational consumers, addressing a language gap, effectively. My name is James Allerton-Austin. I'm part of the product management organization within Oracle, responsible for our cloud platform, which includes our artificial intelligence aspects, certainly in the conversational space, widening out from chatbots alone. Now, and I will take a, whoop, there we are, a little bit of height, that always helps. What we've noticed over the last 3 years is that AI has really truly driven massive innovation in the IT industry. But as with all adoptions of technology, that innovation at the grassroots level is beginning to come up. And we're beginning to find, well, more than beginning, we're really finding customers saying, what I want now is some business value from this solution. I don't want to be in the grassroots. I want to use this technology. Use it for business benefit. So when we say innovation done, what we mean is that the core of innovation within that developer community is moving on to the next phase of innovation with AI. Conversational AI being the sharp point of the spear of AI itself, and particularly chatbots. So moving beyond, per se, the chatbot side itself and into the fuller conversational AI, we're really looking at driving out business value, being able to connect together the right information with the right channels and the right people. And of course, the growth in the use of frameworks for artificial intelligence, the likes of Cafe and TensorFlow, is just beginning to show the intent to be able to utilize this technology, but not have to actually code it and start from the ground up. So it's beginning to take higher and higher step as we move on. But the main thing is that you're delivering value from your development. The innovation that you deliver is innovation back to the organizations for whom you work, with whom you work. So what have we done? Well, step one, I guess, from a general conversational AI standpoint, is to bring together a way in which not only can we build out solutions using conversational AI as a baseline, but also, moreover, like any piece of software in development, is be able to identify, has it been successful? Has it delivered on the value that particular user wants? Has it done what you need? Are people using it the way that they need to? Or indeed, can you adapt it to be even better? So combining the multi-channel experience, the idea that a customer is going to come over more than one conversational channel through AI. Now that could be chatbots, it could be voice, it could be over a mobile channel, it could be a web channel, it could be the next channel that comes up. But bringing together a user experience, certainly the engagement in chatbots goes beyond that. It's the engagement from an organization's perspective. And so the multi-channel user insight, we believe, is one of the values that can and should be married together within a platform to deliver not just the ability to build out chatbots, but the ability to build out an entire conversational AI infrastructure. Now, I'm not going to go into this in enormous detail, but the core value proposition or the core pieces around this is naturally the baseline of a channel around mobile, pushing up into an intelligent bot space, really using artificial intelligence and machine learning as a step up to achieve the goals that you want across those multiple channels. but also giving you visibility of the customer experience, not just through one channel, but through a whole range of channels. If you consider a retail experience, you might be checking online through the web for a particular product, just doing your browsing. You may choose to engage using a bot or a mobile application. But of course, at some point, you may also do research moving around in shopping arenas as well. So being able to bring together each of those users and gain true insight, not just into the conversational AI itself, but into the entire platform is key. And of course, using AI, one of the key elements that we need to do is to go train the artificial intelligence. We also need to be able to run it and have a reasonably prompt response. And as we scale up, suddenly that puts an immense pressure on the infrastructure itself. So the delivery of a high-performance infrastructure, GPUs, the capability to deliver high-performance storage is key to making one of these enterprises successful, not just as a science project or as a medium scale, but on true global, worldwide scale. One of the things that we have done in Oracle is to take this platform out and to engage with our customers to find out what they want to do, to help them to build out pilots, true projects, and indeed production instances. Everything for every market, large and small, from Exelon in the US, that actually is a power supplier of nuclear power within the US, but has a chatbot interface for their customers and consumers to work out what's happening, what their bill is, the interactions on an account basis, etc., right the way through to Aeroviagi from a passenger travel bot perspective. So there are some of the typical use cases that we would see, but one of them I wanted to go into in a little more detail, and the reason for the multinational idea here is the one in the middle, which actually you can't read at all, and neither can I, but it's the University of Adelaide. So in Australia, education works slightly differently from a higher education perspective. I don't know if you guys are aware how this works, but in Australia, when students have finished their exams, they have an SATA score, or an ATAR score, I should say. Sorry, I'm getting muddled up with SATs. But the place that you go to is not a clearing organization or an intermediary, but the university to which you applied. They are the ones who hold your scores. And every single year, universities like the University of Adelaide are swamped by requests from students, 1,600 a day extra, who call into the call center and say, so what score did I get? Oh, it's this. So can I get in? What course can I get? Oh, I can't get on that one that I wanted, maybe. So there's a whole long conversation going on. The University of Adelaide saw that other universities in ANZ were using a REST-based API in order to expose their scores, and they decided, why don't we build on that? Why don't we offer a conversational interface that the students who want to come to us can grab hold of, can start to ask questions, and the impact in terms of their business was significant. And one of the aspects of this talk is not just about their experience, and in this case, they drove out very quickly in their first year more than 2,500 bot users each day. The experience was rated, and frankly, only America and Australia would get this as an Englishman. The word awesome is not used very often, but there you go. They're very highly rated. But the key part here was the drive down in terms of call center asks and the improvement in service of that call center. So it's not making it smaller, it's simply making the response time of the call center better through using conversational AI to serve a specific purpose. And in this case, it drove down the wait time from 40 minutes at peak times to 90 seconds. I don't know about you, but when I'm holding on a phone for 40 minutes, I lose interest within maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and often will hang up and try again later. In this case, I may well be too late. But the value that the University of Adelaide got from this was firstly the ability to be able to take up these ATAR scores and have a conversation with the students who want to join them. But also the other challenge was this. It's a multinational university. When you open a university, you accept students from anywhere. It's not just English-speaking Australians who are going to join this university. There are multinational students too. So the challenge that they also faced with this implementation was, if I'm going to implement this and I don't know which languages my students are going to speak, having a plug-in architecture for a new language is going to be of value for key languages, but how do I deal with the other ones? How do I go about expanding the usage of this to be able to take on any language that's involved? And that's really where a lot of these pilots and the work that we've done with these customers has helped us as an organization to drive out additional solutions that will help those customers to solve traditional real-life problems. So that brings us to the updates and the plans. Now, there has been an awful lot of innovation and announcements. I'm sure anybody who's associated with Oracle in any way or has heard of Oracle in the past there's always an announcement that's happening. But in this particular space, around the chatbot side, the first innovation that we had certainly announced and released at Open World was a combination of our chatbot platform with the Chatbots organization. I believe those guys may well be here. Now, why was this important? Well, one of the discoveries that we had was when somebody goes through, and in the case of the University of Adelaide, they go through, they ask about their scores, they find the right course, and they're told, yes, you have the right points to get on this course. I then need to move into a much more transactional mode. But I don't want to leave the conversation. I don't want to be pushed out into a website or pushed into an app that I have to then download. I need to be able to have continuity through the context of my conversation that then feeds into that transaction that happens. That could be, in the case of a travel space, finalizing the flight details, collecting my traveler information and payment. In the case of the University of Adelaide, it was bringing together all the information about the application they had made already, plus the conversational context that was throughout that discussion before. So combining Chatbots and Oracle together brings in something called instant apps, the ability to, within the context of a conversation, perform a transactional task within that conversation and then come back into the conversation without actually ever stepping out. So you just get continuity throughout. Now that's one of the ways in which we're collaborating with players in the conversational AI space, and we're already doing that. Number two, I guess, is the language problem. There are so many languages, and really, if I'm, as a multinational organization, trying to hit as many people as I can, the last thing that I want to do is exclude languages, or just say, I'm sorry, I have no idea. Now, personally, as an English person who doesn't speak Hebrew, and as with most English people, our language skills are terrible. The inability to talk to you lovely people because you understand me, that's a massive advantage for me. There's no getting away from it. And believe me, it's an advantage for you as well, because if I was speaking Hebrew, this would be much shorter. But those multiple languages are key, and the ability to be able to pick up any language is really at the heart of our solution space. And so what we needed here was, and some of you may be aware of this particular character, a Babel Fish. This is a science fiction thing for those who are unaware of it. In The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, is a little fish that you would push into your ear, and it would translate everything and put it straight into your brain in a language that you could understand. I need one of those. That would be awesome. But that's exactly what we need. We need a Babel fish, an ability for whatever language is input to be translated and then reinserted back into my natural language understanding and my natural language processing that is native to you. And so that's exactly what we've done. We've integrated back into key translation services, and it's your choice as to those translation services that you want to plug into, but given you the ability to adopt those translation services not as a plug-in on the side, but as I suppose, an insert into the heart of the conversational AI platform, so that your conversations, the way you define your intents, drive out your entities, capture synonyms throughout the natural language processing, can be translated not as an afterthought, but as part of that process throughout the platform. And so our Babel Fish is very much the plug-in architecture directly into the heart of the platform that we provide. But we don't just stop, because it's not just languages, it's also channels as well. We announced a partnership with Slack a little while ago, actually about a month or so ago. And coming soon, because, and again, coming back to conversational AI, not just the chatbot space, but driving out those channels, the new ways in which our customers are trying to engage. We're in the process of discussions with Smooch in order to bring a much more pluggable, channel-agnostic platform, and specifically to introduce voice. So watch this space in the next couple of months as part of that platform that allows you to just leverage AI or conversational AI, build out your platform, analyze it, get great performance, be able to do that in multi-languages as well. We're also able to deliver through our partnerships and our relationships with the chatbot and conversational AI community, voice and a whole range of new platforms as well. So wrapping up, I guess I leave you with one message, and that's this. If you're interested in more about what we are doing as part of the chatbot community and the conversational AI community to make artificial intelligence not a science project, but something you can grab hold of and immediately get productive with. You want to hear more about the platform, please come join us. We are here in the corner, which is basically that way. It turns out that this map is ever so slightly wrong, because I think that's where the UX stage is at the moment. But please, come talk to us, just to discover a little bit more about what we do. And what we would really love, more than anything, is to hear exactly your plans, what you need. Because for us, the most important thing is to hear feedback from the community and the customers who are using these types of technologies, so that we can help you to achieve the goals that you have. So with that, I'll say thank you very much, and I look forward to a marriage made in heaven.